Hello classmates, hello Ma'am Gladys. For today's report, we were assigned, we were group 2, report 2, we were assigned to report classroom management. 34 pages siya. So, we we cut them into three parts. Mine is part 1. The second one is for the continuation of part 2. It will be reported by Miss Rosalie Ariap. And for part 3, will be reported by Mr. Julius Adre. So, part 1, Classroom Management. Lesson 1. The classroom is the second home for both teachers and students. That's true. Totoo yan. Because, why? Because school is a basic training for education and for for the students they come in contact with new people, experiences different cultures, learnings, earning awards, recognitions, and self-esteem. Confidence, self-esteem, boosts self-esteem, and also they create new ideas and habits. So let's start. So, classroom management. Classmates, what do you think, or what comes into your mind when you hear the words classroom management? Yes. Classroom management is an integral part of the teaching process. It suggests providing classroom environment that in conducive to learning. Kailangan siya may interaction between the teachers and the students. Yung nakikita niyo sa picture, yun. Kailangan may interaction such as play, appropriate time scheduling for various activities. Recitation kayo, play, and orderly placement of furnitures and instructional materials. Yung kailangan yun makaka-benefit sa inyo. Both parties will benefit the 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 instructional materials. Ang goal kasi dito is for the students to gain behavioral, social, and academic success in a structured environment that caters tolerance, exemplary behavior, and learning. So, a classroom must have a clean and well-lighted area together with a comfortable sitting arrangement. Diba, it makes the classroom an inviting place for promoting interaction and a much very welcome feeling for togetherness. Pag ang ambience maganda, malinis, the better for the students also, for their health also, for their safety. Records of performance are well kept and reported to keep track of progress. Mabuti talaga pag may files ka of the students para makita mo yung progress nila if they're doing well in the class. So, the third one is a discipline indicating complete behavior control is well established. Maganda talaga pag matutunan ng mga kabataan, the students learn discipline in the class. For instance, pag sinabi mong makikinig sila. You have the control in the classroom. The teacher has the control in the classroom. So this lesson is intended to guide you as you undertake the task needed for a satisfactory classroom management. So, there are some supportive measures that can create a well-established, a well-managed classroom. So let's start for organizational plan. Some schools favor strictly structured plans, while the others opt for a flexible one. The decision will definitely affect the degree of formality or informality of the teachers' varied approaches in facilitating the learning process. So let's start for a structured classroom. Sabi dito sa structured classroom, the learning activities in a structured classroom are well planned ahead of time and the procedures follow accepted rules and regulations established by the school. The lesson plan is carefully prepared such as all discussions are directed towards the achievement of its objectives. Needed instructional tools and materials are readily available to ensure smooth conclusion of the lesson. So, kailangan talaga siya um, planado, well established by the school and directed siya towards the objectives. So, basically, both teachers and the students feel the feel responsible for a successful completion of the day's plan. So, after this structured classroom, dito naman tayo sa flexible classroom. In a flexible classroom, there is an allowance for free movement, time allotment, and even in decisions regarding modes of undertaking the learning activities. Oh. In such a classroom, there can be spontaneous explorations and discovery of information, thus encouraging active participation in their own style of learning. Wow. So, parang students are given the chance to express and pursue, tama ba ang term ko? Pursue a special interest and responsibilities to to gain relevant experience thereafter. In the book, they said that a flexible classroom can allow different types of grouping from a totally individualized setup to one that is class oriented or group oriented. So, merong dalawang klase ng flexible classroom daw. May individualized approach and a group setup. So, let's start in the individualized approach. Here we are sa individual approach. All instructional approaches are intended for each individual student considering their ability, interest, and needs. So, setting up learning centers will favor an individualized approach. Why? Because some arrangements are an area or cubicle can be arranged for a particular subject, reading center, IT center, research and report center, center for music instruments, or center for literacy appreciation. So, why did I consider them the one that I said earlier, an individual approach? Because the center contains simple tools like computers, materials, books, and other references depending on the unit to be taught and the discipline. And also because a student may be allowed to visit the center to study some topics or concepts connected with the lesson or with his or her own specialization. Kuha nyo ba? Gets? The, the time to be spent would be on particular information needed. Yun. Thank you. Now we are done on the individual approach. So let's go for the group setup. Group setup. Groups may be organized for a number of purposes, like ability grouping put together students of the same achievement level, ability to tackle concepts in a particular subject could form English group or ecology group, math group. Um, the third one is the interest groups and groupings according to hobbies and recreational skills like photographers, dancers, and swimmers also in popular. In short, grouping could facilitate such teaching strategies as cooperative learning, mm, group experimenting, or drama presentations. So we're done on one supportive measures that can create a well-managed classroom, which is the organizational plan. So let's move on to the second one, letter B, scheduling. Scheduling. Good time management is the key to a smooth flow of planned activities. On it, of course, it would depend on how much of the objectives could be accomplished. Proper timing could sustain motivation and interest. Also, meaning resulting the students active involvement in all their undertakings. So, teacher must be able to plan thoroughly for the daily lessons and for additional activities such as parent teacher conference after classes. Now, on it, of course, it would depend on how much of the objectives could be accomplished. Proper timing could sustain motivation and interest. Also, meaning resulting the students active involvement in all their undertakings. So, teacher must be able to plan thoroughly for the daily lessons and for additional activities such as parent teacher conference after classes. Now, both involvement lang naman yun for the students' benefits eh. And working with other teachers during occasional school events. Ano nila parang interactions between the teachers din eh. So, our third, preparing new teaching devices, more learning materials, new technologies, maximizing this these advanced devices in our generation right now. So, speaking of advanced request for supplies and materials for the week's lessons and for the learning centers. Baka kasi may hindi available yung request mo. So, at least, nakag-request ka ahead of time para what do you call this? Para maayos mo or ma-comply nila yung mga needed supplies and materials na request mo. So, last, teachers supervise students along the corridors and school ground or while eating in the canteen. Meaning, ino-observe ng teacher will supervise the teacher the students if ano yung behavior nila outside the classroom. Next, school functions may coincide with requests for activities and they can plan well for both. Well, that's true. Totoo naman yun. Hitting birds with one stone. Well, practice the habit of giving direct and clear instructions so that the students will be attentive and always ready to move on. Thus, avoiding repetitions and wastage of time and effort. Parang dapat established tayo lahat. Well planned. Well, speaking of establishing routine procedures and assigning students to the corresponding tasks and responsibilities could save save much time. And also always get ready with a with filler activities when the lesson is completed ahead of time. Kailangan may backup plan ka. Kung may plan A ka, may plan B, may plan C din. Okay? So, schedule precious time for yourself as well. Huwag mong pabayaan ang sarili mo. Teachers, reminder yon. Never let yourself be drained, be stressed. You know exactly when it's time to relax, okay? Alam mo naman yun eh. Enjoy fun. Pwede man you, pwede ka naman mag-enjoy in a in a in a um, knowledgeable kind of way. Like in a brief storytelling session, listen to a song or write a journal about a successful lesson. Thank you. So, filler or emergency activities. Once in a while, you will be able to finish the lesson ahead of schedule. When you can sense that the lesson will be over in 5 to 10 minutes, be ready with filler activities which are connected with the lesson. Following are some easy and relevant activities. 1. Ask for a brief story that is about or an extension of the lesson. Parang pwede kang magtanong, you can ask kung anong naintindihan nyo, your reflection ng lesson for today. Pwedeng ganun yun. Second, an anecdote that happened recently will surely be interesting. Third one, have a question box and let a student pick one and answer. Pwede yan. May Q&A na mangyayari. Well, malalaman natin kung natuto talaga yung students, right? So the fourth one, role play about the lesson conclusion. Oh, gusto ko to. And the last one, let them compose a short poem. Oh, amazing. So, that's it. Kailangan talaga, parang sinasabi dito na always have a filler or emergency activities. Plan B palagi. Palaging may baong extra in case the lesson you finish the lesson ahead of the schedule or ahead of time. Thank you. So the next one, tips for maintaining good time management. So, wise use of time can make a difference, right? In how much a teacher accomplishes and how well the students' interest is aroused and sustained. Providing sufficient time for every learning task will go a long way in promoting efficiency and precision in students' performance. Following are reminders for effective use of time. 1. Schedule all activities with corresponding time allotment way ahead of time. Well, early preparations could avoid haste and confusion. Tama yun. Having your activities scheduled ahead of time is a good idea. It's a good tips for good time management. Para hindi na nahahassle. At least alam mo na kung ano ang activities na gagawin mo for this day and for the lesson also. Second one, provide enough time for everything you expect to happen. Economy in time planning is learned from experience. That's true. Third one, avoid rushing since you know you have carefully allotted required time for every activity. You know what? Quality may suffer kasi. If you rush the that activities required time for the activity, parang yung quality of the time may suffer. Kuha nyo ba? So the fourth one, anticipate difficulties or failure of some operations in order to be able to pursue alternative actions. So as I've said earlier, you always have plan B. Ito ang meaning ng anticipate difficulties or failure of some operations in order to be able to pursue alternative actions. Kailangan palagi may plan B in case mag-fail yung planned mo na activities for that lesson or for that day. Kailangan may alternative plan ka. Kasi hindi naman palaging na-meet mo yung objective mo for that objective mo, para at least pag may failure, may technical difficulties, technical issues, masosolve agad. Next one, be flexible with time assignments. Of course, if the students are observed to be very interested and eager to continue working, allow a little more time for them to complete and achieve the objectives with satisfaction. Believe me, it's very good, it's very pleasing to the eyes that you can see your students are very interested on your planned activities or lesson. Next one, use fillers in case you finish the lesson ahead of time, such as reciting favorite stanza of a poem, and let others explain the meaning, or conduct a short contest about the lesson. Ayos yun. Yun ang isa sa mga favorite ko nung nag-aaral pa ako. Conduct a short contest about the lesson. And the last one, set the example by showing that you are time conscious. Yes. Be a role model for your students and to your students, because they will develop the same precision regarding time utilization. Thank you. So let's proceed. A short vacant period may occur when the teacher is requested to perform an unscheduled school activity, such as of some visit of some national officials, parents, or project consultants. A student may suddenly need immediate attention, as in an accident or illness. Pero wish natin hindi mangyari yun, kasi safety ng students is a must. I believe in that. And also, before leaving the class, the following activities will come in handy for half an hour. Like, request a leader to conduct a debate about current happenings among children of their age. Second, ask about their favorite cartoon character and a story about it. Third, conduct a singing contest and vote on the best singer. Parang sasali ako dito. Next one, let one describe a favorite personality. Uy, ito magkakalabas yung mga crush-crush. The last one, describe a trait such as helpful, diligent, and let them identify or he who he or she is among the pupils in the class on that trait that you will be having of an activity. So we're done on organizational plan and scheduling. Now the third one on some supportive measures that create a well-managed classroom. The third one is the record keeping. Now the third one on some supportive measures that create a well-managed classroom. The third one is the record keeping. Record keeping. Well, one of the teacher's responsibilities is to keep school records. Well, among these school activities to be recorded are number one, daily attendance. An attendance register showing the presence or absence through a fast roll call must be kept. Di ba always naman yan pag, okay class, 10, 10, to 10, raise your hand, please say present if your name is called. Ganun, di ba? A permanent seat assignment or a seating chart will be a great help. Yeah, that's true. Every recitation period may likewise be checked. Cases of tardiness are kept and traced later. Yeah, yung pagiging late, natitrace yan. Kasi minsan may mga teachers na mag-attendance before mag-start ang class and after ng class nag-attendance sila ulit. So natitrace siya. An attendance is likewise consulted in cases of declining performance in a classroom task. Causes of irregular attendance will easily be solved if they are promptly recorded. Yeah. Having a daily attendance really give a teacher a big help para nalalaman nila kung sino yung nag-attend ng class nila at hindi. Aside from the daily attendance, we have also the students' progress. Recording students' progress is one of the most important responsibilities that the teachers must perform with utmost proficiency. Well, school authorities, the parents, and sponsors are interested to know how their children are performing, right? Or progressing in all kinds of school activities. Realizing the importance of such records. Teachers must practice care in keeping accurate records and communicating them to parents in the best means possible. Whatever it is, di ba? Kailangan malaman ng mga parents on kung ano na yung progress ng mga anak nila. Para alam nila kung ano ba, if they're doing well or not. And of course, reporting pupil progress to parents will help build a positive and harmonious relationship between the teacher and the parents. More importantly, between the school and the home. Well, for you to keep track of each child's performance, you can be assisted by the following. One, two, chandelier. One, have a record book for recording daily performance, such as quizzes, recitations, and complete assignments. Also, special assignments, reports written or investigations performed. Um, Meron din tayong scores of major tests during the quarter. And outstanding performance as a leader in school or grade level activities. A second one, each student should have a portfolio to file actual records of scored tests, accomplishments assignments, artwork, and other checked requirements for the week and month. Napaka-importante talaga nito for the benefit of the student's progress. Um, we're done in organizational plan. We're done on scheduling. Also in records keeping. So the fourth one sa letter D is physical environment. So a clean classroom where everything is arranged neatly is both attractive and a comfortable place to stay in. Students and teachers must be alert and fast in maintaining shiny floors and arrangement of instructional tools and materials. Furnitures kept in proper places and well-planned seating arrangement or assignment speak of a tidy and organized room. Kaya nga, parang all in all to, pag good talaga yung ambience, clean, malinis, pleasing to the eyes, nakakagaan, nakaka nakaka-energize mag-aral. And you have that mindset na alam mong maganda yung room mo, well organized lahat, and it's maganda masarap sa feeling. So let's start sa number 1, maintaining cleanliness. Together with the students, remembering the following: regular mopping of the floor, collecting immediately materials and supplies in use activity. Third, return used instruments and devices to the proper places. Fourth, pag natapos na nila yung paggamit yung mga instruments, kailangan talaga ibalik sa tamang lalagyan to the proper places para baka maapakan o makakos pa yan ng accident. Number 4, erase the board after use. But erase the board, yung nakasulat dapat, diba? So, para hindi para to give respect for the next teacher, that minsan kasi teacher or lesson na gagawin nyo. Last one, place a waste basket nearby for used pieces of paper. Yeah, trash bags, trash cans, kahit box lang na maliit para hindi magkalat. All in all, for sure, dapat yung sinasabi nila dito is maintain cleanliness. Minsan kasi nga meron nga yung mga assigned groups. Monday, group 1, kayo maggaganito, ganito, ganyan. You are assigned this activity, in this kind of assignments para ma-maintain natin yung cleanliness in the classroom. Group 2, kayo naman. Group 3, group 4, until group 5, Friday. Mostly ako, personal, nagmamap ako at naglilinis. Yun, nakakano kasi minsan ako nag-erase sa blackboard. Ang dumi sa kamay. Pero okay lang yun. Charged experience. Okay? Hindi yun hindi yun nakaka-low moral. Iba talaga pag may experience sa ganun. Okay, let's proceed. So, next. Look after number 2, look after proper ventilation and lighting for their comfort and use. Responsible din ng mga teachers na to give ventilation and proper lighting. Yung proper ventilation para kasi hindi mainitan yung mga bata, para hindi nakaka para hindi nakaka-bad mood. For them to be able to be comfortable and at ease in listening to your lesson, in listening to your activity, in doing your activity, and the proper lighting para hindi nakakasira sa mata. Number 3, unnecessary noise due to careless closing and opening of doors and windows must be avoided. Oo, personal experience, merong ganyang rooms na yung door minsan, yung ginagawa namin, yung yung pot, yun yung nandun sa door, siya nakaka-stop. So yung door hindi na siya gumagana, pati yung window, paano ba? Pero wala namang experience sa window. Still window naman meron sa amin. So yun, nakaka-distract siya. Nakaka-distract. Pag nagsuswing siya, minsan din dahil sa hangin. So nakaka-distract siya. Nakaka-give siya ng unnecessary noise to students, to mga focus na students. So number 4, bulletin boards and displays. Students must assist in the preparation of the bulletin board. Like, the contents and message must be connected with the lessons for a week or 2. The information or topics must be accurate and clearly informative. Precise dapat daw. Detailed. The choice of color, size, and the materials to be placed must be attractive and appropriate to the age group. Just a neutral background. Meaning, pag elementary yung tinuturuan mo, grade 1, kailangan yung mga, di ba, yung mga attractive talaga, nakaka-attract sa color. Pero minsan din may school naman na boys school lang, baka gumamit ka ng pink. Mostly talaga yung standard ng society. Pag boys school, blue, black, gray, brown, etc. Anyway, kidding aside, kailangan nga balance yung gagamit yung materials for the students to be able to attract on your learning materials and especially on your lesson. Next one, upon completion of the unit, they must be replaced immediately. The next one, displays must show correct relationships among the contents. Kailangan daw yung subtopic mo o yung dapat konektado siya sa lesson on that day and activity. Okay? Also, bulletin boards may include outstanding pieces of students' work, such as well-designed diagrams, illustrations about a topic, artwork on fiber or cloth, and some favorite project of the class. Now we'll add up seating arrangements. How the students are seated could make a difference in keeping them motivated and attentive as when an activity is about to begin, right? In the whole class instructional plan, the seats are arranged in rows and in front of the background, in front of rows facing the front or the blackboard. In a group activity, such as viewing a diorama, circular arrangement is helpful. Group investigations, as in performing experiments, the seats must be all around for easy movement. Kailangan may considerations lahat kung ano nababagay sa activity na ginagawa mo, naggagawin mo for your students. Kailangan balance siya, naangkop sa activity. And working with computers or watching a film would depend on the electrical connections needed. Totoo yan. A reading methodology would need a flexible setup as long as they are comfortable in their place. Not to be forgotten is the choice of the right size of the chair depending on the student's size. Yeah. Mahirap naman pag malaki siya, yung bibigyan mo maliit. Okay? Maliit na upuan. Kailangan talaga alam mo at dapat alam mo at kung paano i-balance lahat. Good management, good management talaga. And if keep on large desk or on a smaller one, they will feel uncomfortable and their movements will be affected. Dapat talaga adjustments, adaption para sa klase, para well organized, good good management when it comes to involvement of the students. So we're done in organizational plan, scheduling, records keeping, physical environment. And now, punta naman tayo sa discipline. Okay? Discipline is controlled behavior. Fact. It constitutes the next important concern of teachers as part of the good management. But no matter how well managed a learning environment is, students will occasionally misbehave, right? Teachers must be ready. We, teachers, must be ready to deal with them with utmost care and consideration. Herewith are some causes and preventive measures that could help in ensuring good discipline. 1. Causes of disciplining problems. Some of the most common causes of classroom problems point prominently to unfavorable learning conditions that impinge on the learner's abilities, interests, needs, and this the teacher's lack of adequate knowledge, and for those teachers lack of adequate knowledge and skills in handling occurrences of misbehavior likewise contribute to a trouble prone setting. Do you get me? So, following are some reasons, are some classroom situations that must be closely analyzed if the objective is to conduct daily lessons successfully with the least disruptions due to improper students' responses and reactions. So let's start. The classroom may not be conducive to learning if it is A. Overcrowded with more than a regular number of students to the class. Uh, this results in immobility or um, discomfort in moving around, especially when there is a need to operate instructional equipment and materials. No? Letter B. With poor lighting, facilities, and inadequate ventilation, of course, the attention and the interest of the students will be difficult to sustain, right? C. With furnitures and storage cabinets disorderly positioned, making the collection and the retrieval of tools less efficient. Kailangan talaga i-organize talaga yung mga ganyan. Minsan kasi, hindi na nagagamit kasi hindi nga nalatag na maayos. And hindi sila na-store in their proper places. Okay? Letter D. With inappropriate seating arrangement such that these distractions of students' concentrations can easily occur. Well, we have we will have, or sa mga teachers dyan, you have encounter na may students talaga na misbehavior, no? Na, students kasi have different culture, different religion, different attitudes. And kailangan natin, that's why we're there. Okay? We have to give them good installation of knowledge and attributes and attitudes that will that that they will embody in the future. Letter E. Near sources of noise which obstructs understanding of the lesson. Yeah. Kailangan yung focus, attention, interest of the students are on their teachers and on the lesson only. Thank you. The students bring to the classroom a surprising record of individual attitudes, interests, and abilities. Said characteristics could be traced to the differences, like in their family, physical and mental capacities, emotional traits, among others. Here are some reminders. Students bred in families with different socioeconomic backgrounds may exhibit characteristics that are different from the rest. We have different cultures. May iba tayong religions. Magkaiba tayo ng may sinasabi silang low class, middle class, high class. Differences. 2. Disciplinary measures practiced in different homes may cause unfavorable consequences as they relate with one another. With varied abilities, they may greatly differ in expressing self-control, patience, and temper when challenged. Discipline talaga. Kailangan ito discipline and self-control. Okay? Some may have a special interest that must be attended to. Merong iba, very different intelligences. may academic, may sports, tapos meron din itong mga special interests like drawing, maths, chess, and kailangan nila ng attention to be recognized and to boost them, to boost their moral and self-confidence, for them to be able to to express what what they want, what they want to be in the future. Others may have problems that would never immediate solutions. Well, may mga small problem, big problem, but everything has a solution, and kailangan nating hanapin lang yun. And everything happens for a reason, okay? And every problem has a solution. Their relationships with one another can bring either positive or negative interactions as they study and work together. Hence, it would be best that they know each other well for a mannerful climate in the classroom. Discipline and good manners and right conduct is a must in the classroom. Thank you. We're almost done. Okay. Well, the teacher's ability, yung pag-usapan natin is teachers, about the teachers. Teacher's ability to meet discipline challenging situations can spell the difference between a good or distressed classroom control. Okay? So much depend on their knowledge of and skill in employing a wide range of classroom strategies and procedures, and personal and emotional attributes to control, The teacher's way of dealing with the students may be wanting in developing a congenial and harmonious relationship, one that is brought about by a pleasing and gracious attitude. Some possesses the distinctive temperaments that can either attract or distract students' attention and could lead to truth or miscontrol behaviors. Meron talagang ganun. But as a teachers, as a future educators, we have to prolong our patiences, and we have to to enlighten them, instill them, empower them to be a good individual. Okay? And to control their behavior as much as they can be. The last one, teachers' personality and appearance are often obscured by personal problems coupled with so many tasks to attend to. Instead, some become so stiff, unattractive, and unapproachable such that students feel repulsed with no one to turn to. Kailangan din yung mga teachers, sa bagay, because siguro ata because of this many 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 activities to be taken care of, to be worked of, or activities na nagagawin. Pero dapat hindi natin kalimutan yung appearance, yung ating personality, yung ating physical appearance, proper haircut. Basta be a role model to your students and to other and to your co-teachers also, For short, depending on the subject matter and the student's abilities and interests, the teaching strategies will essentially be varied from time to time. And that's it for the end of my part 1. And again, the continuation of the part 2 and part 3 will be reported and will be posted by Miss Rosalie Ariap and Mr. Julius Adre. Thank you, and I hope you've learned um valuable and valuable and mm, and again, because siguro ata because of this many many activities to be taken care of, to be worked of, or activities na gagawin. Pero dapat hindi natin kalimutan yung yung appearance, yung ating personality, yung ating physical appearance, proper haircut. We're almost done. Okay. Well, the teacher's ability